and they sends them right to the trap. Isn't that a good idea?
Oh, I agree.
Isn't that a good idea?
I agree with
They
that.
did that for Flat Earth. You go Flat Earth Society. Nobody has anybody that was on the fence about Flat Earth, if they go, you know what, let me see what this, because Obama said it 3 different times. Obama goes, this isn't a meeting of the Flat Earth Society. And then again, another speech, he'd go, and these people with their Flat Earth Society, he's sending people directly to the bullshit. So anybody that's on the fence and going, what is it? Everyone's talking about this Flat Earth. Let me check it out. They go to Flat Earth Society, and they got the craziest shit on there. It's ridiculous. So when you go to Google, punch in Flat Earth, and not even society, just put in Flat Earth, and with the Flat Earth Society is now 3rd. They already got shitty Flat Earth production on Wikipedia. That's the first thing that comes up. And obviously, because
controlled opposition, is that what you're saying?
Of course, but what I'm saying is, hold on. What I'm saying is, why the fuck are they trying to bury Flat Earth? If it's so stupid, if it's so dumb, why are they doing to Flat Earth what they're doing to 9/11? They're doing it. They're doing the same thing. Why are they making this effort?
Something's called a truther or a denier. That's when they try to get you not to check into something.
Yeah, why are they producing anti-Flat Earth stuff if it's so ridiculous and it's so stupid? And they're already criminals and they're lying about everything.
Pat, question. Drink your coffee.
Eddie, number one, you don't have to answer this, but I'm curious. Do you own guns?
Abso-fucking-lutely.
All right, the government's coming for them guns after this Flat Earth discussion. Number one.
Good luck.
Number two.
Come take it from my cold dead hands.
Rubber guard.
Damn straight.
Yeah, you ain't taking my guns.
Here's what I want to know. When I look at the moon, is the moon like a fucking paper plate up there? Or is it a globe? The
moon is mysterious. You know, we only see one side of it. We never see the other side. It never moves, not even 1/2 of a degree. From thousands of years, it's the exact same side. It doesn't spin, and they say it's caught in a synchronous orbit. But from all...
Is that the same for the sun?
The sun, it's just a bright light. You can't tell what the hell's going on. But with the moon... we only see the one side. Doesn't make any sense. Even before I got into Flat Earth, for the last 10 years, the moon never made sense to me. I'm like, how? Because then when you pay attention to it, you're like, okay, during the crescent moon, okay, it makes sense that because I mean, the conspiracy theory is that the light coming from the moon is not a reflection of the sun. The conspiracy theory is the light that the moon actually gives off its own light. It's its own luminary. It wouldn't be that fucking bright if it wouldn't reflect light like that. That's the conspiracy theory. And then also they're saying they're measuring the light of the moon, the temperature, and the sun obviously is warmer in the light than it is in the shade. But moonlight, according to the conspiracy theory, is colder in the light than in the shade. It's warmer in the shade. So what they're saying is that the moonlight is totally different light than the sunlight. The moon is a goddamn mystery. It doesn't rotate, and we only see, no matter where you are in the world,
their societies.
It's the same face. It's the exact same thing.
But how do flat earthers explain, is it fictitious, the, Voyager and all these other crafts that we've sent out to explore, and go past all these planets and take pictures and film all these detailed, films of these planets? I mean, to me, they're obviously round. I mean, are these Hollywood CGI films, or that's what I'm asking. What are flat earthers saying?
Well, when it comes to flat Earth, you got to look at it from a whole different stance. It's not like. It's like it's the grand plan. Once you understand, or once you believe that the grand plan, when you're controlling people, is to never tell them the truth. You only tell them what they need to know. You never tell the people the truth. So according to all ancient religions, including Christianity, we're in a special place. The lights up in the sky, the stars, they're revolving around us, and we're on a flat plane, and we're stationary, geocentric. That's according to ancient religions, right? So, when you're a dictator or an emperor, you don't want you don't want people knowing what's really going on. You don't want people knowing where they really came from. Why would you tell them? You're trying to control them. You're trying to keep your control. So you don't want to tell them the truth, right? So religion and science or astrophysics are completely opposite. On one hand, you have we're a special place. The lights above us are going around us. God, our creator, whatever you want to call him, there is a creator to this, and this is like some kind of special place, and it's a mystery as to what we're really doing here. And maybe that's part.
Well, of course, that changed with Galileo, right? It went from geocentric to heliocentric with Galileo.
Well, Copernicus, but hold on. When you're trying to tell. When you're trying to control, first there was Pythagoras. He was the first one, like 2,000 years before Copernicus. He's the one who said, hey, maybe, because it was always about, are we going around the sun or is the sun going around us? That was the riddle. The riddle, what's going on? Are we going around the sun or is the sun going around us? So Pythagoras, 3,000 years ago or whatever, said, we're going around the sun. But everyone's saying, no, the sun and everything is revolving around us. We're in a special place. So if the key to controlling your people is to not ever tell them the fucking truth, is it coincidence that it's the exact opposite what they're telling us? So instead of being stationary, we're spinning on our own axis 1,000 miles an hour. We're going around the sun at 60,000 miles an hour. The sun's going around the center of the Milky Way at 600,000 miles an hour. And the whole Milky Way galaxy is shooting through the universe at 1 million miles an hour. That's 4 different motions. Yet we feel nothing, yet everybody believes it. So it's astrophysics is telling us the opposite of what we've been told by religions. The opposite. We're not special. We're insignificant. As a matter of fact, we're a speck of dust in this fucking endless ocean of the universe, of nothingness. It's nothing. And, it's a whole story. It's like the Big Bang. We came from nothing and we fucking exploded, right? And then there was dinosaurs. And then the dinosaurs died out. Then the cavemen came. And then then the monkeys came. Sorry. And then we came from monkeys. But some monkeys didn't evolve. But we did. And then endless space. And then when you look at the grand plan of all emperors was they wanted one world. They wanted one religion where they can control. It's like a religion for a government is like controlled opposition. They don't want to battle God. They would rather have no one believe in God. But you know what? They got to have a God because everybody, you have like everyone.
Gives poor people hope.
Yes, and it gets your armies to kill, for God. So you kind of need that. So you kind of just say, okay, yes, there is a God, and put a lot of goofy shit in your religion to get people. Some people are going to believe in it, and then the people that don't, they got the government waiting for them. We got science. We got the scientists over here. If you don't believe in that, because we don't need everybody to believe in God. That's the first way to divide and conquer. You create a religion, and like every emperor had a religion, and they decided what the religion was going to be, right? You didn't choose your religion. Your parents didn't choose their religion. Your government chose your religion, right? So anyways, so when you look at the whole story, you need the Big Bang, the end game. The end game is a one world order. That's the end game. It's always been that everybody wants, all the emperors, they wanted to control everything. And that's what's still going on now. It's still going on now. So,
How does the Earth being round or not round affect?
Hold on, I'm explaining. I'm explaining that. I'm explaining that. So the only way or the best way, and it's coming, and everybody knows about this, the best way to get everyone to agree onto this one world order is a fake alien invasion. They've been talking about this forever. This is part of the grand plan.
Project Bluebeam?
It's not even like 20 years old. It's like, it's thousands of years old. They need that's how they're going to get control. So in order to get people to believe in this fake alien invasion, we got to have endless space and other planets where other beings have colonized. That's the only way they're going to get
extraterrestrial shit, Eddie.
Yes, but I don't believe they come from space. I believe they come from underground. or the same,
underground, okay.
or the same plane that
I
we're
know
on.
we don't have much time. Let me ask you, dude. There is actual science called transit photometry. It's basically using light to measure a planet's like density, mass, temperature, and even their radius. They can tell whether it's circular or not. And this is, I'm a lay scientist, believe me, but I remember this shit from my college science class on how they use light to measure all this different shit about a planet. But one of the things they used light in this particular transit photometry to measure is their radius. Is that bullshit? Like,
Well,
are there
if-
circular planets
well,
and we're, I don't,
well,
are they
well,
all
Well,
like Neptune and all that other shit?
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, listen, if the plan is the fake alien invasion and if it always was the plan, if that was the plan, then wouldn't it make sense if that was real? Let's just hypothetically, we're on a flat plane and we're the rulers of this of this flat plane. Wouldn't it be a good idea to establish NASA in 1958 to have all information on what's above us coming from NASA? And everything coming, because the stuff that you're talking about, I've looked into that, the stuff where they send a beam and they hit a planet and then they could tell how far it is away and all that. That's all stuff we have no access to verify. It's called scientism. Scientism is science you have to have faith in. It isn't science you could prove for yourself.
I mean, isn't there just other people out there doing shit that you may not know about that still are providing valid
no, but
information?
you gotta have, that's called faith. We're talking about faith.
No, absolutely.
We're talking about faith. If, like, I don't need faith to, like, the science in, for instance, Viagra. The science, whatever the science is in Viagra, I don't need to read a scientific study on Viagra to know it works.
Proof is in the boner.
Right? Exactly. Proof is in the book. The same thing. Like, for instance, we go back to 9/11. The University of Alaska, they did a scientific study on Tower 7 to finally prove it once and for all scientifically if Tower 7 was blown up. And the results came in and they said, yes, with all the evidence, yes, Tower 7 was a controlled demo. I didn't need a group of scientists. I think it's crazier that we needed a group of scientists to tell us that Tower 7 was a controlled demo. I think that's ridiculous. Of course they found out it was a controlled demo. There's 5 angles of it going.
I mean, but as far as like a NIST report, they need shit like that. They need 5 or 6 guys to be like, hey, I'm from the fucking University of Controlled Demolition. And
Well, some
XYZ,
lawyers.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, some lawyers all
No,
came
but
out.
my point is, there was another scientific study.
Right.
No, hold on. There was another scientific study on the effects of alcohol on your libido. And the results were, yes, alcohol consumption increases your libido. Did anybody need to read that? Did anybody need to read that?
No, of course.
You know what I mean? You
So
don't,
this-
because that's
Eddie,
not.
have you
No,
talked
no,
about
hold
the
on.
sugar science that was suppressed? I mean, there's
Exactly.
sciences that we fuck with, right?
Exactly.
That we may not know specifically
Exactly.
about, but
The-
we know the sugar science was suppressed. We know it's bad for you. We trust that, don't we?
Yeah. My point is, there's science that's scientific fact, like the science that connects my iPhone to the internet. I know that science is real. I don't need to read in a book that says iPhones can connect to the internet. I know that, right? But science that we have no way to confirm, we have to have faith in.
Okay, I
So
get what
that's-
you're saying.
So when
I think
any
the
science,
though of alcohol, Eddie, I think the science of alcohol improving your libido is garbage. I think it just makes fat chicks look good.
that's a good one. You should do stand-up. That's good.
So I get what you're
I'm going to
saying.
use that, Pat. I'm going to use that. So what my point is, when it comes to science that we, like, when you got to look at,
So you're saying-
NASA was
you're-
formed in
hold on.
1958 by Nazis.
Let
Werner
me-
von Braun is a Nazi. Right there.
Eddie,
All the information coming out of
You're not an
NASA.
ophthalmologist, but you're cool with your eye working. You don't have to understand the science to know that certain shit is outside of maybe our realm.
No.
of understanding.
That's not what he's saying. Hold on. Let me just say, because it was confusing what you're saying. What I'm understanding is this, is that you can prove that your phone can hook up the internet because you could use it,
Yes.
right? You're not going to space, and you take faith in that these people are going, we've been to space, this is what we've learned. We have faith that they are telling us the truth.
That's
Whereas
scientism.
technically,
I get that.
we have not gone to space. You and me and everybody on the
Exactly.
show.
Yeah, exactly.
So we are taking faith
Yeah.
that NASA is telling us the truth when we've seen over time.
It's a psychological term called object permanence. Eddie, you know your car's outside. You don't see it, but you know your car's outside.
Yeah, but I can go. Listen. I love Eddie. I love that he's into that. That's his thing.
I love Eddie
but that's
too. Don't even trip,
But
dude.
that's not the same thing, Jeffrey. Because I can walk out and touch my car and know it's right there.
But you don't see it right now.
Yeah, but
That has nothing to do with what we're talking about. I'm
but
talking
that's not
about
what we're
science.
talking about.
I'm talking-
What we're talking. What
talking
he's
about
saying
science.
is that we all take the word of people that we've known has lied to us before that this is true shit and that there's a lot of people on it and that even if a scientist came to you going this number, you're never going to be able to prove it until you yourself go up there and see it. Is that what we're saying here?
Basically, I'm not saying, when NASA says every 6 months, they say they found 9 new planets 100,000 light years away. I would like to go there and see the process. Show me how you figured that out. Nobody has the access to do that. They just say, they're scientists. They know more than you. How could you, not trust scientists? I do trust scientists. I do. But when it comes to actual experiments that I have no access to and I have no way of verifying it, you don't make any money by believing in scientism. It makes no difference whether you believe that they found 7 new planets last year or not. How does that change your life? I just choose not to believe it. I don't believe because they lied so much. They faked 6 moon missions. NASA was started by Nazis. Werner von Braun directed all 6 moon missions. He's a Nazi. He wrote a science fiction book on
Well, it's like
colonizing.
on a closer to home scale, when you think of global warming, I mean global cooling, I mean climate change. Which is it?
Whose science do you trust? I feel you, dude.
It fucking changed a moving target, man.
I don't know.
Eddie,
So-
that's been the bane of my existence since I was fucking 16, 17 and found out what really happened with fucking JFK, quite frankly, and that's what started me in all this shit. They've lied about so much. How do you accept anything? So it's really just up to the individual to have
Right.
their own discernment where they put
Yeah.
the brakes on how much they're lying about. Like from the origin of our fucking history and civilization, they're lying about. You know what I mean? The food pyramid, all the shit that they're trying to do to
Exactly.
kill us, they're lying
Look
about.
at sugar
I get it.
science, sugar science, tobacco science, marijuana science,
All of it.
vaccine
All of it.
science.
I'm with you.
When it comes to science, I'm not going to believe it unless I can verify it. Unless they're going to throw me in jail for it. They go, you better
Hey, Eddie,
believe,
did
you
see-
better
did you
believe
see
that or we're going to
Joe's
jail. Then I'll
episode
believe
with-
it.
Did you see Joe's episode with Steve-O when he talked about he went up in the Soviet MiG and he could see the curvature of the Earth? Have you?
Well, yeah,
Dude,
what do
we
you
need
think
to
of
start
that?
a Go fucking fund me to get Eddie in some kind
Well,
of
listen
fucking
to
MiG
this.
or
Listen to
something.
Wanted
this.
to
Listen
do
to
that.
this.
Up there.
Listen to
Brian's
this.
wanted to do
Let me
that.
ask you
Listen to this really quick.
I want to ask you, Eddie.
Talking.
Before we stop, would you literally have to see it yourself to see? Oh fuck! That's what I knew. It's flat. Or holy shit, that's the curvature. Would you literally have to see it yourself?
I've said this before. All I would need is a uncut, unedited video. Put a video camera on without a fisheye lens, right on one of the astronauts' helmets that are going to the ISS, the internet. They supposedly go like 4 times a year. Get me the unedited video, them getting on the rocket, all the way up, docking, uncut. I don't care if it takes 12 hours. Get docking and then turning around and keeping that camera on Earth and then turning it into space. If I see that, then I might believe.
Awesome.
Other than
still need to
that,
fucking
why
we need to
would
get
I
him
believe
at
it?
40,000
Why?
feet.
For
Here.
what?
Yep.
What was that?
We need to get him up there, ladies and gentlemen. GoFundMe, get fucking Eddie.
You don't need to get me. You could just do. You know what? You don't need a GoFundMe. You just need to put a fucking camera. You can go to Best Buy for $12. You could put a fucking camera on the dudes that are already going up there 4 times a year, and they're docking on the International Space Station that's going 17,000 miles an hour, and they're docking on something that's going 17,000 miles an hour. Show me that shit. Show me that shit.
I'd like to see that.
How come we should have
Eddie with fucking Eric Dubé sitting
You
on his
don't-
lap and
yeah,
that shit on
yeah.
fucking Facebook
People,
Live.
you know what?
Hold on. What'd you want to say about Eric Dubé? You said something that his his uncle or his grandfather was
One of his ex's father is in the Royal Thai military and supposedly tied to intelligence. That's all I really heard.
oh, so he banged some strange.
Some great rap albums. If you haven't heard Eric Dubé's rap, holy fuck, dude! You talk about platinum records.
Well, I just want to say it's so interesting considering all of us, we have different points of views, different walks of life. I love that we can come together, we can talk loud, but we don't necessarily need to believe each other's point of view, but we can still walk away with this with, I mean, this is what America needs to be. We need to compromise as opposed to just build up walls. And it's one of the things I love about Eddie because he is so passionate about these things. He doesn't care what people think, how he puts it out, because guess what? This is how he feels. And for me being a conspiracy theorist, he takes so much heat for us. And for that, man, Eddie, you fucking out there. I know no one can fuck with you physically, but I feel some of the repercussions in like the message boards. I just want to say, keep fighting that good fight, Eddie.
Hey, you know
Whether
what?
it's
Thank you.
child shit or
Thank you.
fucking flat
Thank
earth.
you.
I
Hey,
do. I appreciate you.
Hey,
Eddie
thank
brought
you.
up fucking weird when on Joe Rogan when he brought up that weird scenes, the fucking Laurel Canyon book, and the guy David McGowan, he died of an early cancer. I mean, Eddie, I fuck with you, dude. I love you, brother. And when you brought
Thank
that
you.
up and you brought up conspiracy of silence, I was like, this motherfucker knows what's up, dude. Because that Laurel Canyon shit, ladies and gentlemen, check that shit out.
How
Jim
many?
Morrison,
Ask. Thank
Freaky
you.
stuff.
Thank you for that. But ask yourself. How many more times does the government have to bullshit you before you're suspicious of everything? Think about this. CNN is fake news, right?
Right.
We know that. CNN is CIA, right?
Yes.
So every time you turn on your phone and you see CNN on your fucking iPhone, that's the first thing, you know it's bullshit, right?
Yeah.
It's never the truth, right?
For sure.
How about when they put SpaceX just got into space again? What about that? Or how about when
I was
CNN
not
puts
with that. I'm like, why is that car not melting? It's 260 degrees.
exactly
Fucking tires should be melting.
anybody who believes that shit was real?
Hold on, but
oh
Eddie,
my motherfucking
you
God.
bring up